Hello, Amity City. It's a comfortable -3 degrees tonight, and I have an interesting story to tell. Before we get into it, I have some announcements to make on behalf of myself and 87.7. First of all, I want to remind you that you can reach out to me and the team at any time on our Tumblr, amity-after-dark. Please feel free to drop tips, stories, or questions, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. 87.7 would like me to remind you that everything we talk about on this show is fiction. I would like to remind 87.7 that one of the mics in my booth is still broken, my last check bounced, and they need to watch their mouths. My last announcement is a request. If you or someone else you know has a relationship with the Sanguine Mafia, the Moro Demons biker gang, or any of the various mafias of Amity City, please reach out to me. I'm not a narc, I just need to ask some questions. With all that said, our story tonight is a strange one. They are all strange ones, of course, but this one was kind of a spiraling rabbit hole of nonsense that finally started to make sense at the very end, and got more confusing after the fact. I began investigating claims of witches, using what we learned at D'Artagnan Pizza and Games as a compass for what's real and what isn't. I found some interesting leads, almost all of which are out of the city, so I can't actually investigate them. I started searching for priests with similar powers or events that were similar, and I found a lot of chatter about something strange. People in Wickbridge have been reporting an angel. Some background. Wickbridge is a rougher part of town. It used to be home to just the factories, the harbor, the warehouses, but once Portbridge closed all of their factories and the borough got too expensive for the common folk to live in, a lot of low-income housing was built in Wickbridge for the blue-collar workers. It's run down. It's not well taken care of, it's over-policed, and as such the crime rate is higher. The strain and stress of being treated like a criminal, starving, and being isolated makes someone more likely to break down, claw their way out. A lot of people have tried to save Wickbridge. Riley Wessler tried to cause a borough uprising that resulted in 23 deaths. Jackson Trilby opened hundreds of apartment buildings with controlled rent, but when he died and new landlords bought the properties, they fell into disrepair. The Wickbridge Vigil owns one of those buildings now, Carlo Plaza, and it's the only one that's taken care of and maintains a survivable price. Sometimes gangs make for a better political force than those who know the letter of the law. To this day, the best attempts to fix Wickbridge have been done at the hands of Huey Wu, current leader of the Wickbridge Vigil. The purple-clad gang has fought pretty hard for their borough. Yeah, they peddle drugs, they fight, they steal, but they protect their people. They provide job opportunities, they build unions for the factories and harbors. Something has changed, though. Over the past few weeks, the Vigil has been noticing increasing hostilities amongst the people of the borough. People have stopped paying protection money. They've stopped fearing the gang at all. Someone even made an attempt on Huey Wu's life, but that went just about as well as the last 12 attempts have gone. The people of Wickbridge are claiming an angel is watching out for them. WebTalker and Pixie have been lighting up with #WickbridgeAngel and #WickbridgeGuardian. Supposedly, he keeps showing up around the borough. Have a bad day, and he appears. Right at someone's worst moment, handing out money, offering answers, guidance, protection. I had to go look into it. At best, it was something new, and at worst, I figured it might be a magician, or I don't know. I know a few members of the Vigil, and I asked what they knew. They told me very little. They said I'd be lucky to track him down. They've been trying, to very little avail. And I didn't really have any great ideas. I went down to Wickbridge. I took the Pakfa down. There was a guy playing his guitar on the train. He was playing Ernest Day's Believable Moments, which is the song we're going to play after we run some ads. Tired of the everyday hustle? Looking for some levity? Take a trip down to Bayshore City. Our casinos pay out 2% more than any other casino in the country. And our streets are home to all your favorite celebrities. The city of success and dreams beckons you. Come visit. Ask your travel agent today. And remember, Bayshore City will keep your secrets.
The Hughes Corporation has fought hard for Amity City. We build housing, hospitals, invent new technologies that save lives and make yours easier. We are here to fight for you. From Hughes Tech to the Hughes Foundation, we dedicate our every moment to you. This can't continue if Ian Holt becomes our provincial council seat. He plans to gut this great city, tear down the hard work of philanthropists and those who work every day to make this city better. Tell Ian Holt to back off. This is our block. This message was brought to you by Caesar Hughes and the Hughes Foundation.
This song is Believable Moments by Ernest Day. Why is Bayshore allowed to be the city of dreams when Amity City has been the city of dreamers for so much longer? Sorry, let's get to the song. When I got off the Pakfa line, I threw on my jacket and started walking. The borough's dull factories and warehouses mostly sit on the outskirts, leaving the center of the island for housing, businesses, but I could still hear the foghorns of ships rolling into the harbor in the middle distance. I wasn't sure how I was going to find this angel, but I figured there were a few tricks I could pull. I held the deck in my hands, rotating cards one on top of another, while Bruno ran around between my feet. I looked for signs of fortune, businesses packed, parties, the like. But no matter where I looked, I didn't find anything of incredible interest. Just people having their best day, which reminded me of the demon that I met a few months back. Demons make you promise them your soul, give you everything you've ever dreamed of, and then within 24 hours typically kill you. However, that wasn't consistent with what I'd been hearing about. I'd only been reading reports of people being saved, helped, protected. But I rationalized that this angel may be some sort of demon, perhaps a poor example of one. I opened Monstology Mobile on my phone, forcing the demon whispers and laughter out in an alleyway, and I asked them what they knew. Frankly, it wasn't much, and they seemed a little bit more content to swear at me. A lot. What they did know is that angels aren't real. They told me that although demon iconography is used in many world religions, no demon is certain of where the typical image of an angel came from. They don't seem to share a world in the waking. I bid them goodbye, they fussed and screamed like toddlers, and I pondered how I might summon something that doesn't exist. I had partially hoped summoning a duo of demons in the burrow would make the angel appear in a smiting light, but that might have just been my religious upbringing talking. I started to lose track of time. It was nearly 5 a.m., and Bruno demanded I carry him, as his little paws had gotten cold and tired. I hadn't even noticed that we were stopped in the middle of the street. I heard a horrible sound. Tires skidding on ice. The guy must have not seen me either, because he didn't even blare his horn. It was the last moment of my life, and instead of flashes of my childhood memories, chicken soup and swing sets, it was quiet. I shut my eyes, and when they opened, I was standing on a rooftop nearby. And there was the angel. He was maybe 5'4", with brown skin, messy black hair. He was wearing a leather jacket with a gray hoodie under it. Crust pants covered in hand-painted punk band patches. Fake branded sneakers that he probably bought on the corner of some street. He turned to speak to me and then froze, as if every word he was about to say was meant for someone else. I decided to speak first. I pulled out my phone to record him and asked if he was an angel. He shook his head. I couldn't capture his face or voice on video, which I didn't know at the time. He told me he was the Hands of Mercy. I asked if that was his cool angel name, and he groaned at me. He told me that I seemed pretty lost for a warden. I asked him to elaborate, and he just started walking towards the fire escape. So I chased him. I slipped and fell off the roof, ice under my foot taking advantage of my street shoes having no tread, and in another flash of light I was standing on the street next to him. He snapped at me and told me to be careful. By now I was invested. I followed him 6 blocks, asking questions and trying to pressure him into answering. Soon enough we entered a diner, the Mariner's Meal. It's a 24-hour in Wickbridge. 6 out of 10. The fries could be better, and the coffee is too good, if that makes any sense. We sat down, and he finally started answering my questions. He's a witch. A real one. And for once, since I started this radio show, I got some real answers. He said Hands of Mercy is the title given to whoever is currently the witch that works for the Revered One known as Mercy. We talked for about an hour before he vanished again, so I'll tell you exactly what he told me before I lost him. A witch is a priest for a revered one. Someone who can do stuff for them in the physical world, which he called the real. Each witch has a small amount of power, rituals, symbols, and control over certain pieces of their boss's domain. This witch had recently marked the entire borough of Wickbridge with the Mark of Mercy, and now he's stuck being teleported around, stopping shootings, car wrecks, appearing with arms full of money for people being evicted. He told me he hadn't intended for this to happen. Said he thought the mark did something else. He's only been a witch for a month. I asked how he became a witch, and he said Mercy appeared to him in his dreams. Showed him thousands of years of suffering and thousands of years of forgiveness. When he woke up in his bed, he was holding a book. He told me as warden, it's supposed to be my job to take note of every witch who enters my city. Apparently I was supposed to teach him something or kick him out, and since I didn't do my job, he's trapped saving every undue person in Wickbridge until he can go break his mark. I was going to ask him more questions, where his mark is, what a warden is, but he disappeared in a flash of light and I wasn't able to summon him again. Obviously, I didn't attempt to get hit by another car, but I suppose that might have worked. Let's run ads, and then we can total up what we know for the night. Madame Nasir is expecting a call from you. You want her guidance. The future does not need to be cloudy, and Madame Nasir wishes only to help you. Please call or visit our shop in Wickbridge. Madame Nasir knows all and sees all. She wishes to help you. Cash only.
Come to Events Pizza. If you are in the Westbridge area and you are in need of some quality Aspen pizza, you simply have to stop by our shop. The Events family has been running this shop in Kurt Park for 3 generations, and we are not going anywhere anytime soon. If you order 3 large pizzas for delivery, we'll waive the delivery fee entirely. Come on by.
This song is Walk My Block by Wickbridge's very own Casey Kane. Let's finish this out. Despite the answers we received, yet again they come with more questions. What is a warden? This is now the 2nd or 3rd time we've heard that term. When I found the deck and its accompanying notebook of puzzles, it was addressed to the warden of Amity City. I suppose that might be me. It's a term I've looked into, but I've not found any information on the occult forums about it. No book references wardens of cities. We've met our first witch, and we have no idea how to help him. He told us a lot about Revered Ones, and none of it makes sense. Seemingly, he serves a force called Mercy that can summon money and save sleep-deprived journalists from getting hit by cars. He is trapped, being launched around the borough, stopping people from getting hurt, but not everyone. People are still dying. Maybe those ones are due? Maybe mercy doesn't mean immortality. We know that there is a revered one called Mercy, and its powers feel nothing like the revered ones we've already dealt with. Those 2 guys with the circus are revered ones, and they seemingly can be here in the real, or maybe it's just in their circus tent. Does a witch have to put that tent up? Do they each have their own witch? Regardless, Mercy's powers didn't feel like theirs, or whichever revered one was behind the cursing of D'Artagnan Pizza and Games Child Casino. I feel like I'm out of my depth. How did this go from I think the mafia is full of vampires to I'm pretty sure I can prove the existence of God? Not God. Maybe we need a simpler case. Something a bit more mentally palatable. Something street level. Send in some investigations in your area and I'll look into them before next broadcast. Good morning, Amity City. Go get some coffee. It's gonna be a long day. Amity After Dark is an unfiction horror podcast produced by Livewire Stories. This show is written and produced by Gwen Fullman. The music you heard in this episode was made by Gwen Fullman. Claire White is played by Gwen Fullman. Mark is voiced by Theo. Advertisers 1 and 2 were voiced by Gwen Fullman. If you enjoyed this episode and want to hear more, please consider subscribing to our Patreon at Livewire Multimedia Stories to receive episodes a week early for only $2 a month. Check out our website at livewiretabletop.wixsite.com/livewire. Subscribe to us on YouTube or join our Discord in the description below. The best way you can support us is to show this to a friend. Thank you. And a special thanks to our Patreon patrons who make all of this possible.